Welcome back to another episode of the Ben and Bergs podcast. I'm Ben, your favourite high school dropout and founder of Collective Shift. Alongside me is Bergs, your favourite MBA and COO of Collective Shift. Join us as we bring you world-class crypto research and strategies to help you dominate this crypto bull market, as well as behind-the-scenes view of us scaling the leading crypto research company in Australia. And if you like the podcast, please leave us a follow on your favourite podcasting apps or subscribe if you are on YouTube. And today, folks, probably one of the last episodes we'll do in 2024. So we're going to give you a yearly reflection of how we went. Bergs and I have been catching up briefly. He has not changed since I saw him a week ago. He's still a pain in the ass. So I'm going to give you a bit of a reflection.
Mate, you're just as useless as ever. Like, you roll, you barrel in, you've not got half your stuff. Look at your camera. It looks like it's from 1982. You've stuttered 3 or 4 times during the intro, mate. You haven't even done your hair properly. Like, what's going on, bro? Like, you stop, you get a coffee. It's not even real coffee. It's instant coffee. Your life's falling apart. You're traveling to America. You haven't even got half your shit with you. I'm like prepared. I've written the episode, got everything ready. You just barrel in, blow everything up as usual.
Welcome to a day in the life.
Mate, you haven't even done your visa and you're traveling in like 2 days.
Yeah,
you're not getting in. They're turning you around.
Forgot you need an ESTA. Trying to get an ESTA. Left my passport in Melbourne. Got to get that sorted. But I do have a Moccona. I grew up in Moccona, mate. Instant coffee. Humble beginnings, mate. I remember my parents' house. I did buy a new microphone because my other one busted. Didn't bring the right cord for the camera, so I don't have a camera. But
humble beginnings. I grew up. Is that the bedroom you grew up in with your brother in the bunk bed?
Yeah, no, this is the timber floor that I grew up on from 5 to 15.
Oh, yeah. Just sleeping in like a tent, just a swag. Didn't have anything, mate, just by the river.
Not even a swag, mate, just like a fly net during summer. Get the mosquitoes away.
So good.
But
now I run a 7-figure business.
From timber floors.
Bro, you should start a timber flooring business as the next one.
For people that grew up with humble beginnings, you can get your timber floor bed.
That's what you can call it, humble beginnings, and you just sell timber floors and bunk beds.
Wouldn't know how to put a timber floor together, but you can buy one off me.
Oh, you got people for that, mate.
Oh, dear. So every year, if you've been listening to Ben and Bergs now we've been going on 2.5 years now, which is crazy to think. So every year we do a reflection of the year and we set our 2024 or the following year goals. And a part of that, it's a checklist or a process we follow. I'm not sure if Bergs does this, but I do highlights, lowlights of the year. How have I changed? What are the lessons learned? What wisdom have I brought into this year? What do I definitely need to change for the following year? What do I get my energy from? Like energy drainers and energy charges, personal goals, and then what I think is the best one is the fantasy story. And the fantasy story is more just about where do you want. It's a G-rated.
You're like, I'm not sure if Bergs does this. We literally did it together, wrote exactly the same like things, and did a podcast on it, mate. We talked about it just before the episode.
Mate, you just mean so little to me that I just forget what you do.
Mate, you keep reinforcing it and showing it to me all the time. I'm going to burn this company to the ground. You're going on holidays, you're going to come back to me, nothing, mate. Scorched earth. See you later. Money's gone. Customers are gone. ASIC and the ATL are after you. Enjoy.
And I've just busted my legs on a slope. Can't walk. Lost my company. Back to Timbers
Cross, mate.
Back to humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
Round trip.
Back to Tassie.
Round trip.
All right. So we're both going to read out our fantasy stories and how we went. Ben, do you want to kick off with yours? And let us know what your fantasy story was.
Yep.
And you can do some commentary along the way, mate.
Okay. So for context, when did I write this? January this year. Oh, yeah. Or December last year. So we're at a time where we were still, I don't think we were profitable yet, Bergs, were we? No, in terms of like a month, maybe. Actually, no, I don't think we were.
No, but we had that uptick in November 23 when we went to Oz CryptoCon.
That's right.
And that was a big turning point in the company because it was like, hey, either this works or, it's going to end badly. And we had a couple of cracking months, so we were feeling pretty good.
So I think we did our first 6-figure month in November or December, and we still weren't profitable. And that was obviously a huge goal of ours and a very stressful time to go through building a startup when you're trying to build something in a bear market, and startups in general are just fucking hard. But my fantasy story for the end of this year, so now, was we are doing approximately 2.5x the revenue per month based on our biggest month last year. So it was basically like 2.5x growth from, our best month, which was a huge sort of like goal. We were clearing about 35% net profit margin. We haven't added to our core team too much, but our staff and ourselves are paid now above average. And we have hit our revenue per month goal, which has been epic. The profit figure not quite there yet, but I think it's definitely exceeded my expectations of where we got to. Like when we had our biggest month, I can't remember when that was now, November. That was a 5x increase on revenue from our biggest month last year, which is nuts, or 4.5 basically, X growth. So revenue crushed it. It's been a little bit choppy this year in terms of just, the market and the business. But yeah, this year has way exceeded my expectations and it's been an absolute cracker year. So fucking super, super pumped about that. We're profitable now. And we haven't added to our core team too much. We brought in some pretty epic people, which have been massive, adds to the team. And
we've added 50% to our team.
It's been nuts, hasn't it? Well, no, like in terms of 50%,
from 6 to 9.
But that's what I mean. It's not like 3 people. It's like cool. It's not that many people. Like
50%. Yes, it is. So you're okay.
In percentage
so
growth,
we've increased our team size by 50% for full-time employees, and then we've actually more than that.
That's full time,
and
right?
That's the reason. This is the reason why we haven't hit the profit targets, hit the revenue ones, but we've also increased our staff significantly. So we've hired another full-time analyst, full-time EA, full-time sales, and then a couple of contractors as well. Yeah. So now I think we've got 9 full-time people compared to 3.
Which is okay in that context. Yeah, growing 50%. That sounds a lot, but in my head, we've 5x increased revenue and we've added 3 full-time people. Like that's ridiculous. Like that's really good.
But that was 1 month earlier. And you're so funny where you're like, oh, we haven't grown the team that much. It's 50% bigger. You're so funny, man. The way you justify things is like,
we think differently. Anyway, 9 people. So like
we do, because my thought is just rooted in reality. And you're just off in like, you're already living on Mars with Elon, mate. Like
4 years ahead, mate. We're not even, we're nowhere near it. Anyway.
So no, if you think about it that way, so like
sure,
fixed costs in terms of wages would have increased like roughly 50%.
Yeah.
So that's a significant amount. That's a fixed cost we have to pay every single month. But we have had some cracking months along the way.
And you're right. In terms of like where we were last year and what we were spending, like we were spending a significantly more amount based on the reinvestment that we've had through the revenue to grow the business, which has been epic.
Yeah, so that's a strategic choice where we probably maybe doubled our spending because we cut it right back.
Yeah.
But we're like, hey, if this bull market is coming, these are the people that we're going to need. We're going to need this support person. We need another analyst. We need a salesperson. We've even expanded the sales team now.
Yeah.
And that was one of the best choices we've made. Like we sacrificed profit to reinvest into the business to get even more profit. And if we didn't do that, we wouldn't have had that massive month and we would be struggling because we wouldn't have the resources to support the demand that's coming our way.
Yeah. Yeah, if you included the contractors, part-timers, like it's actually probably a pretty fucking crazy number, to be honest. I don't even know how many people, but
I've got no idea who works for us. I have no idea what it costs. I just show up and the magic just happens. That's what your investors want to hear, mate.
I create the magic, mate. That's what I'm here for.
The magic man.
So outside of that, I'm working primarily on content and our platinum service. We only just had just launched the platinum in October last year. So this was when I wrote this, the platinum was only 2 months in. We probably had 10 platinum members at that point. We now have 110, which is nuts. And
let's pause there because that's been like one of the best innovations and money earners in the company. Like that's huge. Like because we've tried to do this for so many years and tried to model it and what does the product look like, and then we got to a point where we've nailed it and people love it.
That's called the Ben Simpson magic, folks. That's what it is. Just a sprinkle, little sprinkle of salt.
It's called Ben trying to do stuff, and then you tell him, like, mate, no.
It's going to cost
way too much. You can't even support it.
What's my strike rate? Am I 1 in 10 or am I 1 in 20 of good ideas to actually, ideas to execution? It's probably more than that.
1 in 4,000. Most of them don't even make it past like the first couple of sentences. Like you think about like the first two sentences and then you're 5 years down the track where it's actually working. And like there's nothing in between. That's Ben's barbell strategy and it fails all the time. I'm like, mate, let's just think about what we'd have to do. And you're like, oh yeah, nah, you're right. It's too much work. I'm not doing that. But when you do have a good idea, it transforms the company, mate.
Only 1 in 4,000. I'll keep coming up with them.
That's pretty lenient.
Pretty much, I come to Bergs, and his whoop goes from 90% recovery to 15% when I see him, because I just trauma dump ideas on you.
So many red days, mate. Like, my God, the amount, like, when we're talking, we're literally talking about something in the company. You're like, oh, what about this? And what about that? How's this? Oh, bro, you know, we need to do this. I'm like, literally, we've just had an hour conversation about how we're going to settle this thing that's been bothering us. And now you brought up this other thing. I'm like, bro, you already packed your bag. You're leaving. I'm still eating. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
I'm on the next flight out, and you just sat down for an ordered entree. So I'm like,
amazing. All right, let's finish off your story. Come on. What I want to say is well done on the platinum. That's been transformational for our company, and it's a significant portion of our revenue now.
Yeah.
And they are our favorite customers because we get to deal with them. It's a bit higher touch.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with them in a more personal way. I really enjoy it.
And well done for you for looking after the team, who I don't know most of the. Right, next. I have my own place in Victoria, and I was still living abroad. I was a nomad still. I was living out of a suitcase still. That's crazy to think about.
You weren't a nomad. You were homeless. Call it what it is, mate.
Timber floor, summer beginnings.
You used to go from people wouldn't remember, but you used to go from like Airbnb to Airbnb. You'd be traveling around. You'd have to figure out how the aircon works, the laundry, how the lift works.
Do you remember?
You're walking around like.
Do you remember?
Exactly. Trying to do Ben and Bergs. The internet's not working. I'm getting frustrated.
Cameras
You're walking
flat.
around you're walking around at like 3 a.m. and you don't know how to get into your apartment or get the keys.
Walking the wall because I'm half asleep. Forgot I'm in a different hotel. Like, don't know what room number I am. Like, constantly losing keys. Don't know where to get food. Like, it's just a disaster.
You're still losing keys. You don't know where to get food. That hasn't changed. But
actually, everything I just said still happens. So let's just.
How much of your brain power do you think that was taking up? Like, that would be considerable, right?
Like, I love traveling and I will continue to always travel. But I think now, like, traveling full time and trying to run a company and a podcast and like managing people and just like it and trying to stay healthy and eat is just so intense. Like, it's so much work. And that was one of my goals here. So I have my own place in Victoria, preparing to buy mum and dad a house. I have a Tesla and I have a great home office and recording studio. So I don't have my own place. I'm living with my housemate, but I have a Tesla, preparing soon, hopefully in the new year, to get mum and dad a house, and then home office and studio. And the home office, man, just having that set up at my place, multiple screens, Rode my camera, it's just so easy. Like, if the efficiency now is unbelievable compared to last year.
Roll out of bed straight into the studio, mate.
Literally straight in. Like, I could come from a meeting and then a minute later I can be on a podcast. You know, where before I'd be like, where am I? Oh, it's hot. I'm in Bali. My laptop's on 12%. Forgot my camera. It's noisy. The internet doesn't work. Like, fucking hell. I just remembered now. I'm just remembering all these things. Anyway, I'm earning X amount per year. Plus we're now, paying out dividends. Not quite at the dividend stage, but I'm at the number that I was looking to earn, which is great. Starting to really grow my wealth. I am. I've had some positive conversations about potentially, the next stages of the business, whether it's, Series A, acquisition, whatever that might look like. We're very, very early in those days. I don't think we're really going to go down the acquisition path, but in terms of, growing the business and getting some, the next, few years of plans together, we're starting to really talk about that, which is really exciting. We've actually got a little retreat planned, Bergs and I and Trav out in Perth in February, which I'm looking forward to. We're going to go and probably drink more beers than anything, but we'll talk about where things will go.
I don't know how much of a retreat it's going to be. Just talking with you, the stress levels are through the roof, mate. I need a retreat after the retreat.
Yeah, mate, I'm going to go have a week off after speaking to you for 3 days. And then next one is...
He just runs away from accountability, folks. This is Ben.
The media brand focus has brought us most of our sales, and we're pushing local crypto events, showcasing the value to deliver and the lives we change, which has been epic. So social media has been massive for me this year. I'm nearly at 50,000 followers on Instagram. LinkedIn's gone really well. The podcast is growing. Twitter's growing. That's all. A YouTube channel. I started a YouTube channel actually this year, so we've got nearly 2,500 subscribers on that. I've been doing a video a week, which has been a huge effort. Really underestimated YouTube. That's a really tough game to crack, but it's massive if you can win on there. And then we did the summit, which was massive. We had 3,000 people join that, had 30 speakers, one of the best events, I think, all year for crypto in Australia, which was fantastic. That was actually a really big one, I think, for me this year, or us as a brand, like having Ben and Bergs really start to take off, which will show some numbers in a second. And then personally on the growth of the sales stuff we do, the social media content, like that's been phenomenal. And that's, to headline, well, no, I didn't headline, sorry, be on the main stage, the headline stage on at OzCryptoCon, and just see 1,000 people in the crowd, and just the people that came to us all week. Like that's awesome. Like I love that. That's a real sign of the brand that we've been able to build, which is super exciting to see everyone.
Absolutely, man. What about if you look back on 2024? What are some of the highlights that you had? Some unexpected things that happened, or some wins, or some travel, or friendships, anything like that? That's outside of that story when you think about it and you look back.
My trip to Greece, I love Greece. The Europe trip was fun. Really enjoyed that. I'd always wanted to go to Europe and just to check out what life is like over there. Like it's a completely different world. Outside of that, I think just living
won
back
a couple of awards, mate.
I won the Community Leader of the Year award. That was cool. Really awesome to get some recognition there. I think even just living back in Melbourne, to be honest, and just having a routine and just the simple things of having a house and a wardrobe and a car, like the simple things. I'm like, fuck, this is unbelievable. Like things are so easy. And then, I don't know. Outside of that, I just feel as though it's been a big year for the business. Like we really put in a lot of effort this year. I remember at the start of the year, you and I spoke, and I was like, look, this is the year we've got to crack into it. Like this is the year we're going to have to really take advantage if the market grows, and it has. And just to be able to see all of the work and research that we put in and testing we've done for years now in different areas come together. And it all just started to really compound. And I felt for like 2 years, we were just bashing our head against the wall, trying to do these things and getting no results and going, what the hell's going on? And then finally, we made it happen. It clicked and things took off. So yeah. Oh, even my finance course, I did a finance course.
Yeah, you ended up doing that.
Yeah.
The Platinum Day was huge as well. That was really good to put together. Really cool. The Summit as well.
Yeah. The Platinum Day was awesome to see all the Platinum members come in person, meet all them. Even go to Token 2049. That was really cool to see the Singapore event. Yeah, it's been a pretty fucking awesome year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it, mate. So in terms of like the fantasy story, pretty stoked on that. A lot of my goals I ticked off, a lot I didn't as well. But I feel as though probably been one of the best. It was best. It's been the best year for the business, 100%. And personally, I think just to get everything together, it's been awesome. So crack a year.
It keeps compounding every year, mate. Like it's definitely exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. Same. Right. How about you, man?
All right, man. So those goals were cute. Let's get into some real goals, mate.
Here we go.
Yeah, just kidding, mate. Enjoy Makona. All right. What would
tastes like?
What would my
life
look like in a 25 fantasy story or 24 fantasy story? I wake up early, complete my morning routine, and feel unstoppable. I've had a hard workout. The little things don't bother me, and I'm willing to take on the world. I've got a lot of energy, and I'm ready to give to others. The day is already won. So I definitely feel that way, but I don't do morning workouts. I've tried to, and it is just not for me.
Yeah.
Like waking up, going for a workout, I need to eat something first before I lift.
Yeah.
I've been working out consistently since May, and I feel great. Like, feel a lot better, a lot more energy, sleeps through the roof. Don't really have any pain in my body. It is awesome. Love going around between 11 and 1. No one's in the gym. There's like 4 people. You feel so rich. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. So definitely done that.
Mate, I remember when, just to jump in, when you first started working here, mate, your body was fucked. You're like, your back was sore, your nose was corked, you had to get that fixed. Like, you're just like, you had the corporate body, mate. Corporate just
Oh, bro,
fucking,
sedentary body.
oh.
So now, like the body's getting better. It's just the mental trauma from dealing with you I have to work with. So that'll make an appearance in 2025 to work on that.
What's her name in Billions? We got to bring in one of those psychologists. What's her name?
Wendy Rhodes.
Wendy Rhodes. Yeah, got to bring in Wendy.
We got Trav. He's pretty much Wendy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but he'd just be like, "Fuck you, get hard." Like, what are you doing? All right. I don't care about money, and I don't measure myself on it. That's pretty much true. Relationship with family is better than ever. It is. We have a dog, and he lights up our lives. Yeah, little Arch. So we've had him since Australia Day. He's an absolute legend. He was a monster to begin with, but he's a little legend now. He's just had his 1 year birthday, a little cavoodle. Absolute lad. I'm the board chair of the school, and I elevate what a board chair can be. That was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. So I was like, oh yeah, you do an agenda, you rock up. But when you're leading a group of people that you only see monthly, that has a weird cadence, you're trying to achieve things, and you're trying to unite all of those people towards common goals, and you're calling people, you're dealing with ministers and politicians, absolute wankers. It's a tough gig, but I've really, really enjoyed that. I hang out with my friend.
Completely different to a startup as well, right? You're going corporate startup, school board. Like, it would just be a completely different ball game, right?
Oh yeah, it's within my wheelhouse because I've worked in government for so long.
Yeah,
but it's
just in terms of the
pace
and the pace
the pace, the language you have to use. It's all very. A lot of it's just like signaling and for show. Like, you have to show up in a certain way, dress a certain way, say certain things. This is more like the government side of it, not the school side. It's definitely a different game. All right, I hang out with my friends at least twice a week for dinner or coffee, and meet at least one new person per week. That's probably down. I see my friends at least once or twice a week, but I haven't met a whole bunch of new people. Again, something I need to work on. I'm more focused and calm at work. Collective Shift is in a bull market, and we're helping all of our customers navigate the market conditions. Very nondescript there, but I think I am a lot calmer at work. I don't stress out. We worked a lot on reporting, finances, all those kind of things. And I think you and I sleep a lot better now. We've got a better view of the business. We understand what's going on, and we can make quite rapid decisions. Like, we know where things are at.
I think the listeners
would you feel the same way?
Well, I think the listeners could appreciate that. I don't even know how many people have been added to the company or the percentage growth of where we were last year, this year. And that's just the amount of people that work for us, let alone reporting and numbers and forecasts. And there was none of that when I was running the show.
Amazing. You got someone competent in. No, three guesses who that is, but
man, I will keep sprinkling the magic, mates. I'll just keep doing my job.
Oof. All right, so this is what happens when you're a majority owner in a company. You can just do whatever you want. Like, it doesn't matter.
What are you doing today, Ben? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, mate. It's just the magic, bro. Sold 8 million platinums in 30 minutes. Come at me. Then does nothing for 6 months. All right, I've supported the missus all year, and she's achieved her study goals. That was a lot of work as well. So doing more of the parenting. The missus is doing like quite a heavy like master's course. She's smashed it in that. Really enjoyed it, but it was full on. So she's on the tail end of that. We've been on a trip to Japan or Singapore. So haven't done that. Have tried to plan it multiple times. Haven't been able to do it because of like schooling and the missy schedule. Although we do have a Singapore trip booked. So I'm going to F1 with the lads. I think we're going to do Token 2049, which is going to be massive. But I'll also have one with the family, hopefully in the next few months.
Nice.
I always have something booked in my calendar, something to look forward to, which I absolutely do have. And this is very interesting, where I've achieved all of that plus a ton more that wasn't even in there. But these are more... And the way I was thinking back at the start of this year was more about how I want to live my life day to day, not very specific goals. Like, out of those, I have specific goals of like, fitness goals, everything like that. But I think next month when we do our view of 2025 and our fantasy story, my goals are ultra specific. So I've already done those. I haven't written the story, but my goals are like, do this to this level, do this within this period of time. This is what's happening now. And I think I was at a stage where I was very comfortable and happy with where things are at. And it's kind of like that's consolidated. I've achieved those things. I've fixed my mindset to the point where I'm happy day to day. And now it's time to build on that with very specific things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think we're in similar boats, man. It's been a massive year, I think, personally and for the business. And I think now I feel as though we've got the foundations of what could be something pretty exciting in the next few years. So I'm super pumped to sit down and think about what next year looks like. And yeah, who knows? Who knows where we'll be this time next year?
Absolutely, mate.
It's pretty
well done for achieving everything. It's been great.
No, you too, man. And it's pretty like if you don't do this, folks, at home, like I would recommend doing it and save them somewhere. Like I've got these now in my Notion, and like I even just looked back before like the 2022 fantasy story and goals, and you're like, wow, like you kind of you underestimate what you can do in the long term and overestimate what you can do in the short term. So when you look back and go, shit, that's where I was 2 years ago, like fuck, we've come a long way.
Yeah, the amount that it's kind of compounded, even like the big things you've done as well, just with your like personal finance, that's been huge. Sorting all that out, paying off your ATO debt.
Yeah,
you're going to get your parents' a house relatively soon. Like they're massive goals to achieve, man.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's pretty exciting. Even being able to like sponsor my sister at basketball, like that's fucking awesome. You know, it's been so cool, so rewarding. Like that's what you do all the hard work for. So,
and bro, one thing you didn't big note that is probably maybe your happiest business achievement is you've cracked ads.
Oh, mate. Oh, I cracked it. The funnel. Finally.
So explain to people what this is and how long you've been after this, mate. This is Ben's like unicorn, this like holy grail.
So in any online digital business, ads play a massive role, usually for some businesses, the whole role of acquisition, whether you're selling a digital e-commerce product, you know, an info product like ours, like a coaching product. Usually everything comes through paid traffic, and then you've got some organic on the sideline. Well, we were never that. We were always organic and no paid for nearly 3.5 years. And we were trying to crack, well, I was trying to crack ads because I'm like, this is the holy grail. This is the mother lord. And then for about, Bergs, 18 months, ripped through a bunch of cash, heaps of tests, spent a bunch of money. And I felt
it was all my dividends and half my wage just gone.
Bergs' future generational wealth.
I was living in a bunk bed on a timber floor.
We were back to humble beginnings. Zach was getting rich. None of us were.
Bro, we have to start a company called Humble Beginnings.
Oh, dear. Yeah, no, we'll do that. But anyway, so after an 18-month mark, I basically got an intervention from Bergs and Trav to say, look, Ben, we get it. We know you want to crack this, but it's not working. We need to like focus on, you know, building up our other areas of business. And I was probably quite visibly frustrated around that decision. But
I remember that. We were around a whiteboard in Perth and we we're going through what tactics can we deploy in the next quarter. And Ben was like, ads. And you were just like, I feel like you're ganging up on me. You're just like shooting down my ideas. Like you guys are just like together. It was so funny. It was like, it's getting very emotional about it. And we're just like, bro, it's not about that. It's like, if you do this, it hasn't succeeded to date. And you're like, but I'm so close. I'm like, just a few $100,000 away or like some shit. I'm like, bro, no.
So it was me, uneducated school dropout versus 2 MBAs, 20 years experience, fucking all this fucking shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to win this fucking argument.
It was very funny where it's like 2 incredibly articulate MBAs, Trav and myself. And we're explaining like, okay, this is what will happen. This is the way you go through. This is your chance of success. This is what's going. This is when we'll need to call it. And we're not saying don't do it at all, but you're going to have to do it with very like smaller numbers. Otherwise, you're risking the company. And Ben's argument was, nah, it's going to work, man. No data, no thought, no nothing. Just like, nah, I know it's going to work, man.
Believe in me. Anyway,
and we went the organic route, and it worked, and it was great. And now we've got enough money where it's given us the license to do that. And Ben's done it in a completely different way with a lot less capital. It's been very successful.
Yeah, and I learned a lot from, you know, it wasn't, you know, completely a waste of time. Like we learned a lot of things about what didn't work, which help us massively in the strategy of this new way. and it is crushing.
You're right.
It.
It's not like we're throwing money
No.
away and we're idiots. We're like, okay, this is the amount of money we're going to use. This is the experiment we're going to run. And then when we get results, if the results are great, we continue. If not, we try something else. So it's not just us burning money like stupid idiots.
No, it was like we had some results, but it was just like it was not there. But now this new way, it's been flying. We've got 3 or 4 salespeople now. We've got ads pumping up. We haven't really turned it up the notch yet either. We're still just building out the infrastructure and the operations to make sure it all works. But yeah, very, very exciting. So that's been a big win this year as well.
That's awesome. Bro, let's get into, we're bringing it back.
Yes, we're bringing it back.
Meme of the week and meal of the week.
Now, this is a throwback. So White Bergs are doing that. If you haven't been a listener for long around here, we used to start episode. I've just seen the meme. So we used to do an episode every week where we used to do like a wrap up of the week, and we realized no one really gave a shit about us too much, so we don't do it too often anymore. But we want to bring it back. We used to do a meme of the week and a meal of the week. We're bringing it back. This might be meme of the year, meal of the year. I don't know. We'll soon find out. Bergs, talk us through.
I've got a couple of memes. This is not of the year. These are just ones I found randomly in my phone that weren't too spicy about Elon or visas or Indians or any of the like latest stuff that's going on Twitter. So this is a very old lady, grandma's. Autism didn't exist back in my day. Also, grandma's, sit, sweetie. It's time you see my collection of fancy spoons. It's like, mate, have you seen this where people like, even RFK, he's a big one for this, where they're like, autism didn't exist, ADHD didn't exist. And it's like, you go to the movies, but nanas need to take their knitting because they can't be bored during a movie.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many signs out there where you're like, the call's coming from within the house. This is a highly genetic passed down thing.
Yeah.
Autism and ADHD. And they're like, nah, it didn't exist, mate. It didn't exist. Bullshit grandma. All right. Meme number 2. There's an old guy and a younger guy. And the caption is, me showing a rich old man with dementia our family photos generated in AI so he can include me in his will. Bro. I love it when people just like take a new technology and they have this like...
Push it to the extreme.
Dystopian slant on it. It is so, so good. And the next one might make you cry, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's is this from? I think it's Fight Club. And it's like Tyler Durden, when the war against the machine starts, and I have to shoot my air fryer, and he's just crying. He's got a pistol. It's so good.
Can't shoot the air fryer.
Can't shoot the air fryer. It's the thing that solves my life. It is the most ADHD friendly piece of tech in the world. It is amazing. All right, let's get into meal of the week, Ben. Oh, wait, this is mine. All right, let's go. So here we go. Let's go with this one first. So I cooked up some amazing pork ribs. These are loin on baby back ribs. Absolutely amazing. You can only eat like 2 or 3 ribs and you're full. So this was the first photo. And this is just simply chucked over charcoal. I'm smoking it with pecan. And we've got a rub on there of salt, pepper, garlic, cayenne pepper, paprika, onion powder, and cumin, I think it was. Yum. Absolutely amazing. And then this is them sauce. So I ended up making my own sauce, which was, mate, the best thing I've ever tasted. Sauce the ribs, set them. These things were chonkers, mate. I've got over half of it left and the entire family ate. Like, this was, each of these ribs is like 2 kilos each. This is one of the most incredible meals I have ever made. Like, I always enjoy my pork ribs, but this is next level.
Charcoal barbecue?
Yeah, mate, charcoal Weber. So
nice.
Charcoal briquettes, snake method with pecan wood to smoke it. Absolutely delicious, mate.
Mate, I've been lacking a bit of bread in my feed. I haven't seen too much bread and Greg Oakford in my feed recently. I think you got to get back on that.
Oh, mate, I've got some stuff ready for Greg. Oh, bro, you wait. I had a little bit of a break. I'm like, I don't want to think about Greg while I'm on my break. Like, no, I don't want to get depressed, like thinking about Greg. I'll just wait till I'm back at work. And I've got so many threads and photos ready. I'm slowly going to destroy that guy. This is what happens when you come after me and my team, Greg. All right. Now, Ben, we have a meal of the week here. Half-eaten meal. There's a chicken bone sticking out, mate. What is this?
This is just another classic. Berg's always like, why is all your meals always like half-eaten? I'm like, well, I always forget to take a photo. And then I get halfway through and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. I better take a photo. So this was Christmas lunch, mate, up at Nan's. And this was more... I think everyone had a meal like this the other day. Cracking. We had ham, lamb on the Weber, chicken, and this was Mum's noodle salad that she makes. And man, I just like this thing. I just devour. I have the whole bowl every year. Mum's like, I'm making your favorite noodle salad. I'm just into it. It's fucking fantastic. The chicken's great. I just go all meat, no salad, bit of potatoes on the side, fresh frothy. Mate, can't go better than that on Christmas Day.
Oh, bro, how good. This is pretty much like our Christmas as well. We had pork, turkey. We even cooked up some like beef, tri-tip, ham, and then like 50 or 60 sides. It's just incredible, mate.
Yeah.
How good is Christmas?
60 sides, classic.
Oh, bro, you're probably still eating that ham, mate, getting through it.
Oh, yeah, no, mate. I've had ham on toast every meal for the last week, but that's all right.
Oh, every morning, like cooking up with eggs.
Awesome. Well, I think we're done. Is there anything else we're going to talk about?
I just want to say, mate, it's been pretty awesome working with you this year, mate. As much shit as I give you and you give me, and you just ruin my life, it's been awesome. I'm really still enjoying working with you. I look forward to it, and the success we've had is absolutely incredible. The team we built is great. I'm really enjoying Collective Shift, loving Ben and Bergs, meeting all the people down in Sydney at Oz CryptoCon. I've had a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to next year, mate.
Me too, man. It's been a big year. I think we both need a break still. I think everyone knows that over family Christmas, it's flat out. So I hope we get a bit of a break in early Jan. I'm going to go to the slopes in Canada, take some time off. But no, man, things are good. It's been a good year. Appreciate it. And I did see that back in 2022. One of the highlights was hiring you. So apparently, mate, I appreciate you too. I don't know who wrote this. It must have been me.
I still remember there's a quote from you, mate, where you were telling your girlfriend at the time, you were just like, oh, man, so thankful I hired Bergs. Oh, so good, mate.
Instantly regretted saying that. But anyway, Bergs knows that now, so.
I sometimes wonder I don't have to wonder, it'd be in the gutter, where the company would be if you didn't hire me, mate. You'd be like more in debt. You'd double down, triple down, be $8 billion in debt, just burning through capital, trying to crack ads. You've got 400 staff that don't know what they're doing.
Mate. I sprinkle the magic.
You'd be back to your humble beginnings.
Start up with sport.
Right, let's end it there.
Righto, folks. It's been a cracking year. Thanks for listening to Ben and Bergs. Big year next year. Thanks for sticking with us with all of our nonsense. We absolutely love doing this podcast, and we're going to keep bringing you, hopefully, some awesome content next year. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, champions.